Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. So thank you to everybody. We're literally on a tear right now, almost 9,000 in the last 72 hours. So thank you. But today, I want to break down more of the political earthquake that's shaking Washington and the United States. I mean, the raw and the unfiltered truth straight from the guy who was in the room. So subscribe, watch, share, comment. I mean, do it all, because the most important thing is to uncover the real story that they actually don't want you to hear. Now, yesterday, Trump signed more executive orders, and he had to do it, of course, on live TV. I mean, God forbid that he does it behind closed doors. I mean, he signed an executive order declassifying files. Imagine this one, relating to MLK, Martin Luther King, JFK, John F. Kennedy, and Robert F. Kennedy. I mean, why weren't the Epstein files included? A lot of people are asking. Play the clip.
Okay.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. President.
You know, I'll tell you, you know what I would like to see declassified? The Michael Cohen FOIA documents that I've been waiting for 4.5 years in order to obtain these extremely sensitive government-related type documents so that I could demonstrate Bill Barr was weaponized and weaponized the Department of Justice to go against his critics, to go against the Trump administration's critics. Now, I want to also explain that he pardoned 23 pro-life protesters yesterday as well. Play that clip.
Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of custody.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just like this. How Donald Trump weaponized the United States Department of Justice against his critics. All right? Maybe he'll put that incredible signature on a document, release the information that I've been asking for over 4 years, where the administration violated my First Amendment constitutional rights and didn't want to allow me to publish my first book called Disloyal. You know, things really got derailed when he was asked yesterday if he was bothered that Elon Musk spoke publicly about the $500 million Stargate AI project. Watch this clip.
Mr. President, does it bother you that Elon Musk criticized a deal that you made publicly, that he said that he tweeted that?
No, it doesn't. He hates one of the people in the deal.
Have you spoken to him since then?
No, I've spoken to Elon, but I've spoken to all of them, actually. No, the people in the deal are very, very smart people. But Elon, one of the people he happens to hate, but I have certain hatreds of people too.
Sir,
Yeah. Well, Trump's delusion, it really showed when he referenced Benny Johnson in connection to the January 6th committee. Just so you understand that Benny Johnson is a conservative political commentator. Who he was referring to was Benny Thompson, who was the former chair of the J6 committee. Play this clip.
And he's a crooked guy, totally crooked politician. And so he's pardoned, and some other people are pardoned. And these are crooked politicians, every one of them. Benny Johnson, what he did is incredible. I mean, he was the leader of the committee, and he did it. Cheney, crying Adam Kinzinger, all of them. They destroyed evidence.
Yeah, wrong guy, but I get your point. Trump then also speaks about interest rates. Play this clip.
And Mr. President, just to follow up, you said you think the Fed shouldn't to you. Can you elaborate on why you think should?
With regard to interest rates?
Correct, yes.
Because I think I know interest rates much better than they do. And I think I know it certainly much better than the one who's primarily in charge of making that decision. But no, I'm guided by them very much. But if I disagree, I will let it be known.
Sir, your tariffs plan for China.
He then went on to speak virtually, of course, at the World Economic Forum in Davos. And I mean, he speaks about the whole world should lower interest rates because he says so. But he speaks also about coal. Play that clip.
Basis to build their plant, build the electric generating plant. They can fuel it with anything they want, and they may have coal as a backup. Good, clean coal, If there were a problem with a pipe coming in, as an example, you're going with gas, oil or gas, and a pipe gets blown up or for some reason doesn't work, there are some companies in the U.S. that have coal sitting right by the plant so that if there's an emergency, they can go to that short-term basis and use our very clean coal. So that's something else that a lot of people didn't even know about. But nothing can destroy coal, not the weather, not a bomb, nothing. It might make it a little smaller, might make it a little different shape, but coal is very strong as a backup. It's a great backup to have that facility, and it wouldn't cost much more money. And we have more coal than anybody. We also have more oil and gas than anybody. So
we are all substantially smarter after hearing that response. Now, I want to show you what Trump said about windmills during his Hannity interview the other day. Look, if there's any time that you're going to see or you're going to hear nonsense, it's clearly going to be on Fox News with his favorite interviewer, Sean Hannity. Play the clip.
Like wind, the wind blows and then it doesn't blow and the things cost a fortune. They're made in China and they kill the birds and they're horrible. We don't want windmills in this country. We're putting an order out. I've already sort of done it. We don't want windmills. If you have a house and you're in vision of a windmill, your house is worth half. It's a disaster. And nobody wants them, and they're the most expensive energy of any kind of energy. You know what else people don't like? Those massive solar fields built over land that cover 10 miles by 10 miles. I mean, they're ridiculous, the whole thing. And by the way, you know where the panels come from? 100% of the panels, they're made in China.
Once again, I'm just a little bit stunned how he's speaking for the whole world, how everybody, even in America, doesn't like windmills, or in the world, he doesn't like them. And it was an issue that he was very, very upset about when they were contemplating on putting the windmills in the water outside of his Aberdeen, Scotland golf course. Because he said, who the hell wants to look at those ugly things? Who wants to see these massive windmills that are bigger than the size of buildings in Manhattan in the middle of the water? It ruins the view. We're not talking about views at this moment. We're talking about energy creation. But it is what it is. Now, lastly, he's asked at Davos if he sees peace in Ukraine in the near future. Play that clip.
Mr. President, when you're back here in Davos next year, will there be then a peace agreement with Ukraine and Russia by then?
Well, you're going to have to ask Russia. Ukraine is ready to make a deal. Just so you understand, this is a war that should have never started. If I were president, it would never have started.
Okay. But now that you are president, my recollection, as feeble as it may be, you said that you could have this war ended within 24 hours of you becoming president. That war, Israel, Hamas. And by the way, don't get me wrong, you also said that you would have the hostages released before you even took office. 3 of them were. And for that, regardless of what percentage was because of your participation, even if it was 1% on behalf of those families, you do deserve thanks and appreciation. But you did say emphatically that within 24 hours that you would have Russia-Ukraine war ended. Well, now that we're in day 5 and it's still obviously not going, this gentleman from Davos asked you a straightforward question, and he was talking about in a year from now. So what's the point to talk about if you were president when this thing started? You weren't, so that certainly it's not even relevant. But when do you see peace in Ukraine? When do you see Russia pulling its troops out and returning home? It's a question a lot of people want answered. My other question I would like to have asked you is whether or not you intend to continue to fund or assist in the funding of Ukraine to defend itself against Russia. There's a lot that's going on here. There's a lot that the American people want to know. You're the president of the United States. We just want answers. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.